What if a machine started as dust and scrap? No blueprints, just fire, sand, and heavy iron. The transformation starts here, on a dark foundry floor. A worker sorts through the remnants, decades of rust, waiting to be reborn. The first spark catches. A small fire feeds the beast. Flames rise from the scrap pile. The heat pushes back the shadows. The furnace roars to life. Thick smoke fills the ceiling. Across the room, prep work begins. Shoveled, casting sand is mixed, shoveled heavy into the wheelbarrow. He kneels on the dirt floor. The sand is packed tight into the metal molds. A metal rod smooths the surface. No room for air pockets. One flaw ruins the casting. The metal reaches a boil. He steps up to the platform. A long iron rod stirs the melt. Bright orange liquid pours out. Pure, dangerous heat. The crucible moves to the floor molds. They guide the pour with metal rods. Molten iron fills the packed sand. He watches the orange liquid rise. Patience versus the cure timer. The sand holds the shape. Now they wait for it to cool. The cast cools just enough to handle. He lifts the hot metal, drops it in the wheelbarrow, then pushes the heavy load through the smoke. Time to break the shell. A heavy mallet shatters the sand mold. The raw casting emerges from the dust. Dark, weathered, rough around the edges. A pile of finished engine parts sits ready. The first phase is done. The rough castings move to the lathe. Precision replaces brute force. The blade cuts away the outer grit, exposing the clean iron underneath. Down on the floor, handwork begins. He scrapes the stubborn residue, smoothing the edges one piece at a time. Skill versus oxidation. Mechanical heart needs a home. He positions the dark assembly. A heavy hammer drives it into the gray housing. Metal against metal. At the workbench, the copper is ready. Hands lift the finished coil assembly, pulled straight from the winding machine. Thick and heavy. Before the copper goes in, insulation. Fingers press paper strips into the tight slots, protecting the wires from the raw iron. A delicate fit. Then the primary coils. He feeds the copper wire bundle straight into the paper-lined slots, pushing and guiding, working the tight clearances by hand. The gray housing slowly fills with copper. The ends need securing. Pliers twist the heavy connections. Then he ties the bundles tight, locking the copper core with string. Red electrical tape wraps the bare joints, sealing the raw connections. He twists the leads together, attaching the final black electrical component. Everything must be routed perfectly. One loose wire ruins the motor. The electrical core is complete. He squats on the concrete to inspect, checking the ties and the tape. A screwdriver locks down the final bracket. The housing is ready for the mechanics. Moving to the mechanical assembly. Friction is the enemy here. He dips the central shaft into dark oil, coating the steel, then carefully lowers it into the gray housing, sliding it past the new copper coils. A perfect tolerance fit. The outer casing goes on. He tightens the long screws. A long, thin tool probes the interior, checking the alignment. True and square. Locking the rotating mass inside. The exterior components are next. He presses a circular blue disc into the front, sealing the pump chamber. A wrench torques the heavy bolts, snug, then hand tight. Time for the real test. A hose connects to the intake. Power hits the motor. Water blasts against the brick wall. The pressure holds. The test is a success. A screwdriver dials in the final adjustments. The raw assembly is done. Two men carry the heavy iron frames away, rows of working motors. The industrial grit gets left behind. A spray gun covers the raw gray iron, laying down a thick olive green topcoat. The rusted scrap from this morning is gone. A clean machine takes its place. The paint cures fast. He kneels on the concrete, pressing bright yellow labels onto the fresh green, giving the iron a name. Final mounting hardware next. Black plastic brackets fit over the top. He sets the bolts, tightening them down across the row, securing the electrical boxes. A T-handle wrench makes the final pass. Every bolt checked. He steps back from the line. The green metal shines in the bright sunlight. Clean, polished, ready. What was a scrap pile is now a working machine. Iron born in the fire, coils wound by hand, and a finish that shines. Clear plastic bags slide over the completed pumps. True restoration isn't about giant factories, it's about the hands that shape the metal, ready for transport.